All right, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for coming out here today, and it is great to be at Waterfront Park. Is it great to be at Waterfront Park today? District 4, Waterfront Park. You know, we all know this is the site that greets millions of drivers when they come to our city, and Waterfront Park has been honored as one of the great waterfront developments in the entire universe. And that's why we're working on Waterfront Park Phase 4 to extend the park all the way to 13th Street and use this magnificent green space to strengthen the connections between where we're standing right now and West Louisville. Waterfront Park draws around 2 million visitors a year from Louisville, for folks just coming to enjoy the bridge or to events like Waterfront Wednesday, Forecastle, Thunder over Louisville, and many, many more. And it's helped us become a popular tourist destination here in our city. Last year, we welcomed 24 million tourist visits to Louisville. And tourism is increasingly a critical driver for our growing economy, which has added 71,000 private sector jobs in the last 6 years, Sheldon, and almost 3,000 new businesses, and attracted more than $11 billion in capital investment in our city. So we've got a lot of momentum taking place in Louisville. At the same time, Waterfront Development Corporation, who runs Waterfront Park, has to maintain this magnificent space and host about 150 events a year. And that, my friends, costs money. And when the state ended its financial support for the park in 2014, they'd been allocating $420,000 a year to help the general operating budget of the park. When they stopped that in 2014, that created a funding challenge that had to be addressed. In August, there was talk of charging parking fees as one of the ways to do that, and absolutely no one liked that idea, including me and all these good folks up here. We believe in public parks as critical community gathering spaces, and in order to keep Waterfront Park as a thriving public space, it has to be open and accessible to the public every day. The question, of course, is how to do that. And the answer is frequently what we see in our city is when people come together to figure out what solutions are. And thanks, a big thanks, to the efforts of generous and civically committed group of Louisvillians, these folks behind us and many more, I am happy to say that we have reached an agreement that will keep public parking free at Waterfront Park. All right. Donations have been secured to cover the next 2 years, and plans are coming together for an annual fundraiser, potentially a concert, which will give the many people in our community who love Waterfront Park an opportunity to step up and help. And you're going to hear more about that in a moment. The truth is, government works best in conversation and collaboration with all of our citizens when we come together, and that's what we have here. And the first citizen I want to mention is Matthew Barzin. He and his wife, Brooke, really stepped up and took charge of this effort, making calls, coming up with ideas, calling in favors, no doubt, Matthew, and putting in time and energy to make all this work here today. Matthew knows a thing or two about talking with people and rallying them around a common cause and shared values. That's what he did as United States Ambassador to Sweden and the United Kingdom. And he did such a tremendous job representing our country, particularly in the United Kingdom, that he earned prestigious awards, including the Marshall Medal and the Sue M. Cobb Award for Exemplary Diplomatic Service. Let's have a round of applause for Matthew Barzin here. There's not many cities that have the former ambassador to the United Kingdom, so we're very proud of that here. Matthew, to you and Brooke, thank you for all of your work on this, and thanks obviously to each and every one of the donors that have come together to make this happen, and our Metro Council champions that you'll be hearing from in a minute. Okay? Our donors, let me just mention them. Ned and Nina Bonney, Christy Brown, that's right, Victoire and Owsley Brown III, Gil and Augusta Brown Holland, David and Betty Jones, Dan and Lisa Jones, Austin and Janie Musselman, Stephen Riley and Emily Bingham, Matt and Fran Thornton, and of course, as I just mentioned, Matthew Barzin and Brooke Brown Barzin. So let's hear from the true citizen who has architected this great idea, Matthew Barzin. Matthew.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you all for that. I wish my mom were here, but I have the next best thing. I have my incredible mother-in-law here, Christy. Thank you. You know, the mayor joked that I called in favors, and that was not at all what was going on. The wonderful and magical part of this little effort that we did was not about favors at all. It was about a shared love of this beautiful space right behind us. Thanks to a lot of hard work from Marlene and David, the board and staff of WDC, the mayor's office, the council, everyone who has helped make this beautiful space. I moved here 17 years ago and fell in love with this city and fell in love with this beautiful park. And one of the things I love most about this city is that it makes people feel welcome, because it does the hard daily work of making places and spaces where everyone feels welcome. And it was an honor in Sweden and in the UK to brag about Louisville and say what a welcoming place it was. So I was here one warm August night for one of the Waterfront Park Wednesdays, hearing one of my favorite bands, Iron and Wine, play, looking out over the thousands and thousands of Louisvillians enjoying that concert. And then a few days later, I read in the CJ the articles that the mayor mentioned about maybe having to, in some ways, limit the accessibility of this beautiful place. And it really struck me and my wife, Brooke, that didn't seem right with everything going on, that we would put up barriers to inclusivity. And so I reached out to family and to friends, and they felt the same way, and they stepped up. And so I wanted to add my thanks to the mayors, to these incredibly generous citizens who joined with us to do the short-term solution that the mayor mentioned, and then really a call for everyone, because everyone I asked is passionate about this park. We're going to come up with a longer-term solution, maybe a concert. I think that would be great. Details to be worked out, but really welcome the engagement of all citizens. So thank you so much, and I'll hand it back to the mayor.
Thank you, Matthew. Really appreciate your work and the whole team here. So thank you, guys. We are in Council District 4. If you didn't know that, you'll be hearing that shortly from our next speaker, Barbara Sexton-Smith. Councilwoman.
All right. Thank you, Mayor. Well, as Mayor Fisher and I know, I always love to say, welcome to District 4. And here we are at the foot of the Big Four Bridge in the heart of the Waterfront Park. Yes, this is the most inclusive and the most diverse part of our entire community. And today is a beautiful day. Matthew and Brooke and Christy and everyone else, today, these very generous folks have done the thing that I think we're all put on this earth to do, and they have restored faith in everything about all mankind that is good and loving and gracious. And they have also now made it possible to instill hope in the hearts of everyone that walks onto this bridge and steps off this bridge. So I would like to say, as folks come off that bridge, welcome to Louisville, a friendly city of faith where everyone is welcome. Mayor Fisher, that might have to be our new slogan for our city. You know, and last thing I want to share with you, it was right over here, right behind this pavilion on a Saturday when I spent the entire day interviewing everyone in the park about what they thought about paying to park here. And it was a young mother that looked right up at me, and she was seated over here at a picnic table, had some little paper plates with happy birthday written on them and a plate of brownies and some lemonade there. And I said, hey, what are you doing? And she said, well, we're here celebrating my son's second birthday. And I said, that's exciting. And she says, that's him right over there. He is loving this. This is the greatest birthday party he's ever had. And I thought, well, it's his second one. And his little sister comes up, and she's 6 years old, and she says, hi, who are you? And I explained to her and asked her what she was doing. And she said, this is all the money Mama had to spend. We couldn't afford a different party, but this is the best birthday party ever. So thanks to these generous donors behind me, moms and dads and aunts and uncles and grannies and friends are going to be able to come to this beautiful park and celebrate for the freedom and the glory of the greatest museum on the planet, the one that God created for us. So my heart goes out to each and every one of you. Come walk, talk, roll, and stroll on the Big Four Bridge, a place where everyone is welcome. Thank you all so very much.
Good to be in District 4.
It's good to be in District 4.
Thank you, Councilwoman. I think this is the first press conference, too, that we've been at since Sheldon Schaefer has announced his retirement, and he's done an incredible job for our city for 40-plus years. Sheldon, thank you very much, sir. Great job. Look forward to seeing the next chapter of your life. All right. Councilwoman Barbara Sexton Smith, Sherry Bryan Hamilton, and Bill Hollander were particularly involved with council advocacy around finding a solution as well. So I want to thank the council for their passion in this project, and Councilman Hollander has a few words to share with us.
I want to thank, of course, all of the donors, extremely generous to solve this problem short term. I want to thank my colleagues on the council, 16 of us, all of the members of the Majority Caucus penned a op-ed about this situation to the Courier-Journal. But most of all, I want to thank the citizens of Louisville who said loud and clear that they did not think we should charge for parking at Waterfront Park, one of our most diverse places. I know there might have been a little overwhelming on the telephones and in the emails to Waterfront Park, but that really was a testament to what you have developed here at Waterfront Park. And when I say you, I mean Marlene, David, all of the staff back here. People loved this park, and they wanted it to be accessible to everyone every day. We found a solution for that part for the meantime, and we will find a solution for it permanently. Thank you very much.
Okay, in closing, once again, thanks everybody for stepping up and helping the city in so many ways. And I want to give a big shout out here. This park is clean and green and well maintained, and the team here at Waterfront Park does a great job day in and day out. So a bunch of the folks are with us here today. I want to say thank you to you all for really doing a great job all the time. All right? Look forward to expanding to Waterfront Park Phase 4 as well. So thank you all for coming out today. Are there any questions about this particular announcement today?
Senator Karen, what's the long-term solution to preventing this from happening over and over and over?
Well, I think that it's been said by Matthew Barzin that a long-term solution should be in the works to try to raise additional money, but also understand we're going to go back to the legislature in the next session and work with those folks. People need to remember that the legislature put the money in the budget in a bipartisan way. It was got vetoed by the governor. So we'll go back to the legislature and work with them. We also have regular and good relationship with all the Metro Council members, and we'll continue to work with them. And as Mr. Hollander said, they will help us work on a long-term solution also.
Now, David would be disappointed with me if I didn't say this. This is some of the biggest revenue-producing property we have in the city. So as you see, more concerts, more fees, revenue coming through restaurants, that's another way they're doing it. We've made a lot of progress on that in the past couple years to the tune of several $100,000. So this is prime real estate here for our city that we want people to use. But then also if we can create revenue out of that, that's a good thing for us. But we'd encourage everybody to contact their state representatives and ask them to help us fund this park. Okay, thanks for coming out today.